All right. Hi, guys. Thank you for tuning in today to today's business tip. My name is Ryan Hinton. I am a diamond distributor based out of Nashville, just south of Nashville in Brentwood, Tennessee. And my wife and I, Rebecca, have been doing Advocare since February of 2011. I should say we've been using Advocare since February of 2011, and we have been doing it full time since March of 2012. And as I was thinking about this training, I was thinking back to our almost 6 years within Advocare, and two of the topics that we have probably trained on and or attended trainings on the most have been the success system and then overcoming fear. And I was actually reminded of this just tonight. My 12-year-old son plays pretty competitive travel baseball, and he takes pitching lessons in the winter. And we were at the baseball academy tonight, and over the playing field in big block letters is the phrase, "Fear is a liar." I thought, how great is that? That here we are at a great athletic facility, and that's their big phrase where all their athletes train and work out is "Fear is a liar." And it reminded me of this great scenario that had unfolded earlier this summer. And, when I think back to it, it's just a great example of, how do you overcome fear? And, what do you rely on and what do you lean on? Because we all know what fear does, right? Fear creates doubt. And when you've got doubt in your mind, one of my favorite messages has always been that that doubt, fear creates doubt, and doubt leads to inactivity, and that inactivity can be crippling in the present, and it can rob you of your future, right? So what do we do to avoid that fear and then allowing the doubt to creep in? And I was reminded of my son just this past summer, and I go back to this time last year. He was training, he was taking lessons, he was working out, and then the team starts practicing, right? And so they go through 3 months of off-season training before their games start on the 1st of April. And so their very first game at 7:30, I think, in the morning, and they're warming up, they're exercising. It's a Saturday, and they're doing their calisthenics. And the coach tells Brandon that he's going to be their opening day starting pitcher. And he didn't know that when we showed up at the field that morning. And again, you got to keep in mind that at this age, this is the first travel tournament of the summer. They've been practicing for 3 months. It was an older group. All of a sudden, he's playing in a higher age bracket. There's a lot going on, all right? And all of a sudden, he is cast into the role as the opening day starting pitcher. And so he goes through all of his warm-ups, and he's doing okay. And then you could start to see the butterflies were starting to kick in as we got pretty close to game time in the first pitch. And we're sitting in the dugout, and I remember distinctively, telling him at the time hey, take a deep breath and relax, all right? 2, trust your mechanics, you know what to do. And then 3, you've been well coached and you've practiced hard, that you're ready for this. And then 4, I reminded him that he was part of a great team and that he was not out there alone doing this all by himself. And he went on that day and he was great. So, was fear starting to creep in and was doubt starting to creep in? Absolutely it was. Was that fear unfounded? Yes, and that's exactly what I was trying to tell him that day in the dugout. That again, going back to what we initially talked about at the very beginning, fear is a liar. And he knew exactly what he needed to do. He just needed to block out all the noise of all this stuff and all the pressure that was starting to build up around him that was going to cause him to have some doubt and going to kind of cripple him and not allow him to be able to perform the way that he knew how to do. And you got to keep in mind, I know most of you don't know our son, but he is not somebody that is going after the spotlight all the time. And, he's not someone that naturally gravitates towards that, but the pitcher is in a role of putting the ball in play. So all the focus is constantly on you until you release the ball, right? Well, was the success system, or was there a success system? You bet. You know, in that case, it's the catcher, it's all the other outfielders, it's the infielders, it's all 9 guys actually working as one. And so now, how is this applicable to each and every one of us when it comes to sharing Advocare? It's exactly the same way, right? You're the pitcher, we're the pitcher, okay? We put the ball in play by sharing Advocare with other people. And the same things that I talked to Brandon about before he started that day are applicable to all of us, all right? Think about it. Take a deep breath and relax, right? Advocare works best when you're relaxed, okay? You have an amazing product that can really help your friends. Draw confidence from that. 2, trust the success system, all right? Just like I told him, trust his mechanics. You trust the success system. You know what to do and you know that it works. And 3, you've been well trained, okay? You know your story, you know how to share it, you're plugging into all these great trainings. There's all the training on your microsite. Hopefully you've been to Success School or Advo Nation, or you're coming to Advo Nation this January. So there's plenty of great training available for this, and I know you can plug into it so that you're going to feel that confidence. And then 4, don't ever mistake the fact that you are part of a great team, and we can all work together and we can do this. So, you know, rely on your great leaders. If you're not part of our organization, you're one of these other amazing diamonds, or you're part of Crystal's great group, you have an amazing team around you. You have a team of infielders and a team of outfielders, and you have other people to help you be successful. You don't have to do this all on your own. So take a deep breath and relax. You know, trust your mechanics. You know what to do. You've been well trained, you've been well coached, and you're part of an excellent team. So always just keep in mind you need to trust the process, all right? Because this process is fearless, just like you. Now go out there and help somebody today. All right, guys?